Welcome to the Be a Man Club, a space for young men to discover the art of manhood through the principles and resources of the well-educated heart. You may be wondering, why do we need a club just for guys? That's a great question. Let me share a story. Some years ago, officials at the Kruger National Park and Game Reserve in South Africa were faced with a growing elephant problem. The population of African elephants, once endangered, had grown larger than the park could sustain. So, measures had to be taken to thin the ranks. A plan was devised to airlift the elephants to other African game reserves. The helicopter and harness were able to handle the young juvenile and adult female elephants, but not the huge African bull elephants. A quick solution had to be found. So a decision was made to leave the much larger bulls at Kruger and relocate only some of the elephants, the female elephants, and the young juvenile males. The problem was solved. The herd was thinned out, and all was well at Kruger National Park. Sometime later, however, a strange problem surfaced at the younger elephants' new home. Rangers at the new park began finding the dead bodies of endangered white rhinoceroses. Hidden cameras throughout the park revealed a band of aggressive young male elephants. The very elephants relocated from Kruger National Park a few years earlier. The young males were caught on camera chasing down the rhinos, knocking them over, and stomping and goring them to death with their tusks. The juvenile elephants were terrorizing other animals in the park as well. Such behavior was very rare among elephants. Something had gone terribly wrong. Rangers at the Pilanesberg National Park in South Africa realized what had been missing from the relocated herd was the presence of the large dominant bulls that remained at the other park. In natural circumstances, the adult bulls provide modeling behaviors for the younger elephants, keeping them in line. Left without elephant modeling, the rangers theorized, the younger elephants were missing the civilizing influence of their elders as nature protocol intended. To test the theory, the rangers flew in some of the older bulls left behind at Kruger. Within weeks, the bizarre and violent behavior of the juvenile elephants stopped completely. The older bulls let them know that their behavior was not elephant-like at all. In a short time, the younger elephants were following the older and more dominant bulls around while learning how to be elephants. While you young men are not elephants, you are like them in one way, that you can benefit from the guidance and example of older men. One thing I learned while raising my boys is that it takes a man to show a boy how to be a man. And that's what this club is all about. When we meet online for these club gatherings, plan on about 45 minutes to cover the two parts. The first part is where you will hear from the invited guest. This adult man will share with you how music, art, poetry, nature, or story have been a part of his life and what that could look like in your life as you come to understand your role as a man in the family and community where you live. And boy, do we have some pretty incredible men lined up. A doctor, a lawyer, a potter, a professor, a musician, a handyman, and we will have even more added to this list as the year goes on. In fact, if you know someone who would be a great guest speaker, we would love to have your suggestions. The second part of the gatherings is for your questions. What do you want to know more about? What are you curious about? What did they say that you didn't understand or want clarified or just have doubts about? Feel free to ask the guest speaker about anything in an environment of all guys. So that's what you can expect from the Be a Man Club. We look forward to having you as a part of the herd.